Good morning, everybody. My name is Doug Beck, and this morning we're going to be talking about multiple intelligences. Our objective today is going to be 1, be able to define the theory of multiple intelligences. 2, know the 8 types of multiple intelligences and some examples. And finally, I'm going to give you the opportunity to determine which of the multiple intelligences you are. What is the theory of multiple intelligences? Well, I want you to try to jot this down and come up with your own definition. And I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to do that. So let's start now. Okay, you should be finishing up. So let's look at our definition. It is a belief that differentiates human intelligence into specific modalities, rather than seeing intelligence as dominated by a single general ability. So basically, that's saying that instead of just looking at IQ or as intelligence as logic, we can look at other areas, say maybe music or art, and we're going to get into that more here in just a second, but let's move on. The theory of multiple intelligences. Well, it was developed by Howard Gardner. He's a professor of education at Harvard University. Gardner's early work in psychology and later in human cognition led to the beginnings of this theory, and it was initially developed in 1983. Gardner theorized that human potential could be tied into one's preference of learning, and he believed that people have a unique blend of capabilities and skills. These capabilities that individuals possess in conjunction with other intelligences helps us to develop skills and solve our own problems. And we see this in our own classrooms. We might have students that don't necessarily understand a vocabulary or have a problem with definitions, and we use different skill sets to help them achieve that. And personally in my classes, a lot of times in my vocabulary, I'll use visual references, and that seems to help. So it kind of plays into to Gardner's theory. Now, the theory of multiple intelligences challenges the idea of a single IQ. Instead, it believes that there's multiple types of human intelligence, and that the human potential can be tied into one's learning. Now, each of these intelligences processes information differently, and there are 8 intelligences that have been determined at this time, and we're going to go into those individually here. Intelligence we're going to talk about is linguistic. Linguistic intelligence, those are individuals that understand the relationship between communication and meaning. So they're what we would consider word smart. Tasks that can be accomplished by these individuals. They can do oral presentations. They can edit a peer's paper. Professional roles that we may see these types of people in would be speakers, teachers, writers, lawyers, poets, journalists, and even editors. Second type of intelligences we're going to talk about are logical or mathematical. These are individuals that have the ability to think conceptually and abstractly and can understand logical and numerical patterns. So they're what we consider numbers or reasoning smart. Tasks that they can accomplish would be perform mental mathematical calculations, create a process, devise a strategy to achieve an aim. Some of the professional roles we might see them in: a banker, a CPA, engineer, scientist, computer programmer, or analysts. Now, our third intelligence is spatial or visual. Now, these are the type of people that have the capacity to think in images and in pictures. They can visualize accurately and abstractly. We call them picture smart. The tasks that they can accomplish would be designing a building, painting a landscape, composing a photograph. Some of the professional roles that we might see them in are architects, artists, inventors, graphic designers, city planners, and sculptors. Now we're going to talk about the bodily or kinesthetic intelligence. This is the ability to control one's body movements and to handle objects skillfully. Tasks that can be accomplished by these individuals. They can demonstrate a sports technique. They could be an athlete. They can interpret a speech using sign language, or they can put together a piece of modular furniture. Some of their professional roles is nurse, athlete, geologist, PE teachers, dancers, and biologists. These are all types of people that are hands-on. The musical intelligence. These are individuals that have the ability to produce and appreciate rhythm, pitch, and timbre. They're music smart. Definitely not me. But tasks that can be accomplished. They can perform a musical piece. They can lead a choir. They can review a musical play. Some of their professional roles might be a DJ, composer, a singer, acoustics engineer, or a noise analyst. Now we're going to be talking about interpersonal intelligence. This is the capacity to detect and respond appropriately to the moods, motivations, and desires of others. We consider these people smart. Tasks that they can be accomplished with: coaching or counseling another person, mentoring a new faculty member, interprets moods of others by facial expressions. Some of the professional roles we might see people in with this type of intelligence would be counselors, psychologists, health providers, and even politicians. Now we're going to talk about intrapersonal intelligence. Let's not get this confused with interpersonal intelligence. Now, an intrapersonal person would have the capacity to be self-aware and in tune with their own inner feelings, values, and other beliefs and thinking processes. So they're self-smart. Remember, intrapersonal is self-smart. Tasks that can be accomplished. They can consider and decide one's own aims and personal changes required to achieve them. They can consider and decide on one's own positions in relation to the emotional intelligence model. Now, professional roles. This is one who's self-aware and involved in the process of changing personal beliefs and behaviors in relation to their situation. Finally, we have naturalist intelligence. This is the ability for one to relate to their natural surroundings. So we would consider them nature smart. Tasks that can be accomplished. Well, they can grow plants. They have an affinity for understanding animals, and they notice natural patterns. Some of the professional roles that we may see them in are horticulturists, breeders, animal trainers, or even veterinarians. Let's do a knowledge check. What I'd like you guys to do now is to name 4 of the 8 types of multiple intelligences. And I'm going to give you guys, let's say we'll do 20 seconds this time. Okay, time's up. Let's see what we've got. Well, we have linguistics intelligence, logical mathematical intelligence, spatial intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, music intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, and naturalist intelligence. And I know probably everybody here at least got 4, if not all of them. What does this all mean? Well, multiple intelligence provides us with several things. First, it gives us multiple pathways to learning rather than a conventional approach, which would be logical. It can be used for all grade levels. And whatever you're teaching, just see how it might connect to one of the previously mentioned intelligence. And you don't have to teach them all. I, in my class, use, like I said, I've got kids that I think are picture smart. So I use a lot of visual aids, and that seems to help. Finally, what intelligence do you as an individual possess? I'd like you to take this survey once you get finished. Click on the link below and take the multiple intelligence and learning style test to see which intelligence you possess. I took it myself. It takes about 15 minutes. It's a pretty good self-reflection, and you might be surprised at how it comes out. So I thank you guys for paying attention and hanging in there with me today, and look forward to hearing some of your comments and other things that we'll be doing throughout the week. Thanks.